Hello. We're live.
Hello.
We're live again, once again, back at it again at Krispy Kreme. It is Sunday, the 18th of October,
It certainly
right now.
is. Before we
And we're,
start, I just want to plug something that isn't to do with me, which is a
please don't.
crazy plot twist. With an ego the size of mine, you think it'd be something I'm working on. But one of my friends, who I sometimes write for their zine, I've never said their handle out loud, so I don't know if it's correct. It's either Fionke or Funky. He's currently hosting an online show about like vines and analyzing them called The Vineyard, and it's fucking hilarious. And
I like the name.
its first episode went out, I think it was yesterday evening, and it's analyzing the back at it a Krispy Kreme vine. So
That's a very, very weird coincidence because we didn't discuss this beforehand.
very true.
That's really odd. But yeah, go
So
check that out. I think it's probably like Funke, right? Like the
it's
guy from
funk with
it's
E
the
on
guy
the end
from
with a
Arrested Development, though, isn't it?
maybe.
Tobias Funke,
Yeah.
the naked guy.
Yeah, with his
Anyway,
anus tart number plate.
yeah, man, anus tart. Check that out. Check it out. Give it a listen. Give it a try. Eat it.
Yeah.
Taste it.
Okay. This is, as always, Desperate for Content.
It is.
And we have another spooky episode, but it's still being October. We've got
Keeping it
another,
horror.
got another big spooky. Well, I mean, there's going to be spooky stuff throughout, but the big spooky question will be at the end, our main topic for today, and it's going to be what classic monster would you be and why? But before we
It's
get
a
to
good. It's a
that,
good one.
following on from last week's episode, which was mostly about ghosts, we did some ghost hunting yesterday.
We did. We did do a little bit of an online ghost hunt. You can also see the VOD on my Twitch channel. But holy shit, that was fun. That was really fun. We played a game called Phasmophobia, which is like this. It's the new hotness. It's a four-person ghost hunting game. So it's like I don't know the thing that attracted me to it over like a lot of the other like these sort of games is you're not playing against someone. It's against like an NPC ghost,
Yeah.
and the way that you do the stuff, it's you are very, very powerless. Like you can't like bring it out and kill it or something, like you literally just have to go around and like use the tools that you have to try and like and speak to it as well
Yeah.
to try and bring it out. And it's very immersive. It's a very immersive game. I loved it.
And the thing is, like the objective of the game is to simply identify the ghost and sort of like figure out what it is. You're not the team that busts the ghost. Like you don't have anything that kills the ghost, so you are literally powerless. Like your objective isn't to kill it. You've just got to literally find out what it is. So the stakes for you are very high, and the stakes for the ghost are extremely low because it just
Yeah,
needs to
you're
get
like
you out of its area.
you're the plebs. Like it even says at the start, it's like you are basically just you're the people that go in and find out what it is, so that the actual Ghostbusters can come in and do the job. So you're just like the expendable crew that just
Indeed.
turn up to like put books down and take photos and stuff. But it's super immersive, man. Like the way that you can use the radio to
Yeah.
talk to each other and stuff. It's so good. It's so good.
It was a lot of fun, and I was primarily the guy in the chair, guy in the truck, which in the industry is known as a coward. Um,
which turned out to be a lot more useless than I thought it would.
yeah, it was only really useful in the second mission where I saw the ghost three times on the camera, and then we saw orbs. But I think
Yeah,
that's more
yeah.
about camera placement. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's good for monitoring people's sanity because you've got a sanity meter that goes down. It's good for checking the level of activity that's going on if you don't have an EMF reader handy. Um, so just like looking for spikes and like identifying what the ghost's reacting to and stuff
Mm.
like that.
Well,
Um,
yeah, that's true. I feel like it would be. I feel like it would be more useful if the amount of items that you could carry was more.
yeah.
That I said that in a really weird way. If you could carry more items, if you could carry, because you can only carry 3 items each, so like you
Yes.
kind of need, if you want to bring all the tools, you need multiple people,
Yeah.
like with all different stuff. so you're not going back and forth and back and forth. But if you could just carry like everything as like one or two people, then I think it would be a lot better. But I mean, my feeling on the game is I feel like a lot of people would think it was a bit slow because it
Yeah.
is a bit of a slow starter. But that's kind of what I like about it. Like it's very atmospheric and it's very much like immersive. You're meant to sort of just feel it and be there
Yeah. I mean, if
rather
you look
than
at
sort of
like all the ghost hunting shows in real life, they spend an entire night in these locations. And like, so if you are going to play the game, I wouldn't go into it and expect like, oh, in the first 2 minutes, I'm going to see a million ghosts and get my
yeah,
shit rocked.
it's not like your typical spooky game where you can sort of like predict this is gonna you're gonna do this and this is gonna happen. Like you're gonna go into this room and something's gonna jump out at you or something like that. It's not like that at all. I think that's what makes it scarier that you don't see it for ages and then it
Yeah.
just like may just walk past you or something like that. I think that's what makes it so fun, but it's definitely worth it. Like it's worth a go for sure. It gets a lot more fun when you have more tools as well. I think though. I really think
Yeah,
they should have
absolutely.
made like all the tools accessible from the start because
But
it's like when we got the thermometer and shit, and then we can see all the cold rooms
yeah,
and stuff. Like so, the last one we did last night, we did a two man last night after you left,
yeah,
um, and it was fucking scary because it was in like the baby's crib. That's where it was, right? That's where it's hanging
yikes.
out, and we put this like spirit box down, and when you're on your own, only when you're on your own, right, we could stand there and say something in that room, and it would go like back through the box.
Oh dear.
I was like, nah, nah.
Was it a frog?
It was a demon. So we figured out what it was, but then we were like, shall we go back in and like try and do the bonus objectives? And we're like, all right, let's do it. And then the fucking thing appears,
Yeah.
runs away from me. I was like, okay, it's running away because I've got the crucifix. No, it wasn't. It came back and killed my mate. It wasn't. It just came straight back down the hallway and killed him. Like
Jesus.
it's terrifying though. Definitely, if you're after a little bit of spooky fun with your friends, like it. I wouldn't play it alone because I just don't think. Not that it's like it's too scary to play alone. I don't think the game lends itself to playing alone at all.
Yeah.
Like as I say, with the amount of stuff that you can carry and shit like that, I feel like it's definitely a team game.
Yeah. And there is a quite a large variety of different types of ghosts, which I think is cool and very interesting.
And it changes every time, so it's
Mhm.
not like you choose the same like location. It's going to be the same
Yeah.
every time. It's random. I want to see what the hard ones are like. I want to see what the hard mode like ghosts are like.
I One thing I'm curious about that I'm never hoping to find for myself is what happens when you get killed by one of them.
Oh, you just die.
Is it
You
different
dead.
every time? No, I mean like do they like pop up? Is it like a jump scare or some shit? Something
I
like that?
think it's the same animation every time. I'm not
Oh,
too
okay.
sure, but they like appear and like put their like hands over your face and drag you down to the underworld.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's you get a little bit destroyed there, but it's I think it's definitely worth a go. It's a good spooky game. Spooky.
But I think one of the most interesting things about it for me was just the fact that it responds to like voice and stuff like that. I think that's a really good implementation to put. It's a bit hit and miss at times, but I think they've got a good foundation to build on. And just the whole, because there was one where our third guy, Hugh, got killed. So it was just me and you left, and nothing was happening for you. I'm walking to the doorway, told the ghost that his dad sells Avon, and then the activity just went up to 6. I was like,
Yeah,
well, I'm getting
that's
out of
that's
here.
the funniest moments. Like whenever you like at one point I said like come out or I'll just fucking leave, mate. And then it just like all the lights
Yeah.
went off and it started appearing. I was like, okay, that's super weird. Because obviously it doesn't know. It's not that good an AI, you know what I mean?
I felt so bad on that map because I'm pretty sure I'm the one who got Hugh killed. Because before that, it's the second time I saw it on the camera. I was like, it's just walked into the kitchen, and then he followed it and got killed by it.
That was quality though. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's like with a proper 4-man team in on the harder levels, because I think the truck would be a lot more useful if we go on like bigger maps. Where because I did it on the first map we were on because we weren't sure. Obviously, it was the first time playing the game when it was because you get the floor plan map in the truck and you could swap between floors, so to guide you to the generator and just stuff like that. Where I'd be more involved, but not actually getting killed by the ghost. That's great. Love that shit.
Love it. Love a bit of. I like a little bit of back and forth. Like, how you doing? Are you there? Can you speak to me?
Yeah.
Like,
Are there? Obviously, we only did about 3, 4 hunts, but are there any?
there's more.
And I haven't fully read the journal, but are there any ghosts that like don't kill you that are just completely placid?
I think there's maybe like one or two.
Yeah, because I think that
But
would. If not, I think they should add those. Not because I'm a coward and don't be killed by ghosts, but it would add that element of like, oh, fuck, is this ghost going to kill me? It says I need to be on my own to communicate with it. Is it like it's sort of like risk or reward type thing? Like, am I really going to put my life on the line to see if this thing is hostile? I think it would add to the scariness of it. Of like you're not really sure. Because that's sort of the appeal of the ghost hunting shows. You like they have it, they get like a few things fall upstairs and stuff like that, and they're like trying to figure out whether it's malevolent or not, and that sort of adds to the tension. I think that would the game
I
plan.
know I like the I like the fact that they can kill you.
Oh yeah, obviously, but I think like say if like 1/3 of the ghost types um weren't hostile, so you'd sort of have that roulette chance of like in like halfway through a hunt you realize, oh shit, this is one of the ones that kills us, or like they're very close to the ones that do kill you, so you could go through like you're 50 minutes deep in a hunt, you're like, okay, this one's seems to be this one, it doesn't seem to be hostile, and then one of your team just drops dead in another room, you're like, oh shit, it's actually this one. It's just it would add more variety and stuff in my opinion.
Yeah, it's good though, man. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's good fun, reasonable
It's very
price as
good
well
fun.
for how much fun it
It's
is.
cheap. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's cheap, but it doesn't. The game itself doesn't feel cheap. Do you know what I mean?
It's sort of like a wave of these games that come out recently. Like you see it with like Fall Guys, Among Us, and stuff, where there's not much to the game, but the gameplay loop is so either interesting or satisfying that it doesn't really matter. So
It's yeah, it's a lot to it. I think there's a lot to sort of
yeah.
like keep you playing it, and a lot to learn from it. And it'll be quite scary like every time.
Another thing to note
Um,
would be just the amount of like different objects you can take in as well, like equipment, like the varying things you can do with them are really good. Like the you'd think for the game of its price and like the size and like the quality of it initially, you think there'd be like 7 gadgets and you're like, okay, that's your max, whatever. But there's stuff there's salt, there's crucifixes, there's smudge sticks, there's all kinds of readers on stuff. You got lighters and stuff, and like some items work together, different types of camera and stuff like that. Um,
yeah, there's a bunch of cool shit like that. It's like I think we tried the salt out yesterday as well. You can put
yeah,
salt out, and like it makes footsteps in the salt. Like
yeah,
you can see like the marks in the salt. Yeah, okay, you are here then. Like this is the room you're in.
yep,
And the book as well. So the book we didn't have any at all, right? Except for the last one we did.
yeah.
And the last one we did, it wrote "die, die, die" in the book.
It might have been German. You know, it might have just been
Yeah,
writing
I was thinking
DDD.
that. Yeah, I was just saying
Yeah.
the
He has a
the bar
stammer. He's
the
trying to get something across. It's fine.
the bar the.
The bar. The. No, I think so. Even though I'm a massive coward and scary games make me cack my pants, I'd fully recommend it. It's got enough like mechanics and like the teamwork encouragement of just a gameplay loop is just enough to like even people who don't like horror games. It's just fun. It's engaging. You kind of want to find out what happens. It's that morbid curiosity, even in like someone like yourself, who we established last episode, does not believe in ghosts, but it's still just that, you know, it's the
Yeah,
curiosity in it.
especially this time of year, man. Like I love the vibe. I love the like I love the just atmosphere of all this kind of shit. I really do like it. Like
Yeah.
the Halloween vibe, the Halloween atmosphere. I'm getting super into it now. Now that it's like middle of the month, I'm listening to Halloween music. Like I'm vibing. I need more, by the way. If anyone has suggestions for Halloween music, please send them to like me on Twitter or the Desperate for Content Twitter, which is at D4C Pod. You can find us there.
Well, my favorite Halloween album is an Iced Earth album called Horror Show, and it's just like themed songs. One's about Dracula, some are about Satan and stuff like that, and it's like big, outlandish power metal, and it's very
Wait,
dramatic
what's it
and great.
called?
Iced Earth, and the album is called Horror Show.
I like that. I like that. I kind of fuck with, honestly, as much as I don't really like the band that much. I kind of fuck with the Ice Nine Kills Halloween album,
Hmm.
where it's all like there was one of those sort of like typical fucking, I don't know, like, would you say hardcore? Not really hardcore,
I don't know, never heard of them.
but they're very much one of those sort of like people used to call them screamo, you know, that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
genre.
yeah,
But they have an album. I think it's called like the Silver Scream or something,
yeah,
and it's just like it's just a bunch of songs about like horror villains and shit,
yeah.
like about Jason Voorhees and about like Freddy and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool. I think they even got like one of the guys that played Jason to do like noises on one of the songs or some shit, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah,
That was kind of a vibe. There's an album that I've been listening to as well by Rocky Erickson called The Evil One. So I didn't know Rocky Erickson that much until recently.
yeah,
Um, until because I know there's like a band that I like called Ghost. I've done a cover of one of his songs,
yeah. I'm
and
familiar with Ghost.
yeah, like I like Ghost a lot. I think Ghost the Halloween-ish.
Yeah,
You know, it's just evil stuff, right? Um, but I didn't realize that he's like a Rocky Erickson was like a psychedelic sort of rocker kind of guy,
yeah,
but he's very like his songs are very evil. Like they're very like Halloweeny. He has an album called The Evil One, and all the songs on it are just like about spooky shit.
yeah.
Like I walked with a zombie, and like there's one called Night of the Vampire, and it's like the best vampire song I've ever heard, dude. It's so good. He has an album called Gremlins Have Pictures. like like this
Nice.
dude is just Halloween as fuck. I love it. I love this kind of shit.
But yeah, I mean, sort of. Obviously, it's not a Halloween song, but the whole like watching Get Out just recontextualizes Redbone for you after you see it, and it's like, oh,
True.
it
True.
becomes a
Get Out's a
spookier
good film.
song, just by association, just the way it was used and stuff. And then when you go back and listen to it without watching the film, you're like, yeah, it's kind of, I can see that. But yeah, so
Did you watch Us?
yes, I did. Yeah,
Because I haven't seen that yet.
it had my boy Tim Heidecker in it, so I had to.
I haven't seen that yet. I heard it's pretty good though.
It's good, yeah. I like it. The thing that I like about Jordan Peele films is like, without spoiling it, it's like it's not just like a, because Get Out could have been a scary film on its own with like a dude go to this family and then turns out they're all racist and stuff. But the whole thing with like swapping people's bodies and stuff, just like adding that little sci-fi element to give it that one extra just bit of flavor. Us has something similar in it that I won't spoil for you. And I think that shit's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's they have this like nice sort of it's kind of like a political flavor,
Yeah.
like but in the background of it, you know?
Hmm.
Like it's just and it doesn't take away from it being a good horror film.
Yeah. No,
Like it is
I
a
really
really
enjoyed it.
good film. It's a really really good film.
Yeah, I think if I could, like horror films and stuff, which we'll get onto our next topic, because you recently watched Hereditary for the
I
first
did.
time.
I did. You've seen it, right?
I
I think
did. I
I'm
saw it 2 years ago.
yeah. So
God, time's
I
going too fast.
I am very like I'm very behind on films in general.
Yeah,
Like so just to contextualize this for everybody, as sad as it may be, um, I spent a lot of time in the past like I'd say probably past year or two, like just feeling kind of apathetic in general about like
yeah,
a lot of things, and so I didn't really do much. I kind of just did the same shit every day. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I kind of just didn't bother about anything. I just like, yeah, I'll just do whatever. I'll just do the same shit. Um, so I didn't watch any films. I didn't really like, play anything different than what I usually would. But now
Mhm.
I'm kind of like a little bit more energized. I've started watching some films that I've missed. There are a lot, by the way. Like I
Yeah.
only recently just watched Joker, so
I
I'm
still haven't
behind.
seen that. I've got no desire to see it.
I really like that film. I
Yeah, I've heard it's
honestly, I
good.
didn't.
I'm just sick to death of Batman Joker media.
I see. That's the thing. It's very very like not a superhero film.
I know that,
It's
but like at the same time, a lot of what I've heard from people who still enjoyed it, but are like really into films, because I've got a few friends who are like into everything about films. Like, you might as well just watch
mm.
Taxi Driver again. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but it's good. Okay, I liked it anyway.
yeah, it's fine.
Irrelevant, but like I'm very behind. So we watched Hereditary like a couple of days ago. That was really good. I didn't expect too much. Like I don't expect too much from a lot of horror films. Um, I don't know. There's just something about like the genre that there seems to be a lot of really cheesy shit,
Yeah.
like really just sort of kind of stuff. Um,
Well, I think the thing with horror was, obviously, I'm not a horror fan. I don't go out my way to watch horror films, but from an outsider's perspective, I just looking at trailers and stuff and trends and stuff. For the longest time, like they were trending towards like shock value, like slashes and stuff like that, and now it's slowly. Obviously, there's probably been like loads of good psychological horrors, regardless of what the trends are. But like now, it's sort of returning to like what's actually terrifying on a deep psychological level rather than like, I mean, I enjoy a good slasher like Halloween, great, lovely, but like it was getting a bit much, so I think
no,
the return to
I
more
feel you. I
atmospheric
feel you.
stuff is a lot more well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I feel like now you hit the nail on the head with the psychological thing. I feel like a lot more horror directors are going for that approach, going for that like actual fear, rather than jump scares and stuff. They're going for the actual feeling of fear
Yeah.
and not knowing what's going on. I think that's exactly what they're doing, and that works. It's good. Um, Whereas, like, so I like slashes. I like old school slashes, but I feel like a lot of horror films and like from the 2000s, especially, were very just like they were almost comedic. They were just like they were just dumb. And I felt like they were very like soulless, just movies to release at Halloween.
Hmm.
I feel like that was the case with it. Like things like I don't know, to give an example of the kind of stuff like Happy Death Day and shit like that. Like and honestly, even like The Purge and shit like that, just I feel like it's just soulless stuff that was just released for to be a bit spooky at Halloween.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the only goal of it, right? Rather than actually making something scary, like really scary. But anyway, back to Hereditary. I honestly really really enjoyed it. I really really enjoyed it. I think the over sort of arching stuff. One of the things that I really did like about it
Mm.
was that it's kind of like it it has this overarching story that in a lot of films you would be like, wait, what the fuck just happened? But you kind of get it. It kind of adds up
Yeah.
towards the end. It kind of does explain itself to you and says like, yeah, this is what is happening.
Yeah, it did it so well in the case of like it put you in a position to think what the fuck's going on, what's going to happen next, what the hell's going on, to scare you, and at the end when it reaches its climax, it wraps it up for you, so you understand it and you're also scared, and it didn't do that
Absolutely.
cop out of like, oh, we'll never explain it to you, oh, that's scary, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Whereas I would
Exactly.
just come away from that just like, oh, fuck this.
It was very much like, okay, so we know we like this is kind of, you don't know what's going on. You're scared. But then in the end of the finale, they're like, okay, we want to explain to you what is happening
Yeah,
slowly. Like this is what has happened the entire time. So they give you some insight into it, which also makes it a little bit creepier when you think back.
yeah,
Because
absolutely, like,
so
oh, fuck, oh, shit, oh,
yeah, Hereditary spoilers ahead at this
yeah,
point. I'll just give a spoiler warning. And most people have probably seen it already anyway, but
yeah,
just a little spoiler warning just in case you haven't, to mute the pod for like a minute or two. Um, so at the end, you find out that it's basically the whole thing was like set up by Grandma and all of Grandma's friends
yep,
like who are part of some cult to basically get this demon a host, like a male host. So she put the demon inside the little girl, like when she was a kid, I think.
Yep.
Um, and then the whole plan was basically to kind of like get rid of her and have it go into the brother. Like that was their plan all along. And so you find out that at the end. And you also find out that, like, all the people involved in this cult have all been doing like a lot of shit in the film. So you
Yeah.
think about like a lot of stuff that you thought was the crazy mothers doing, like, why is grandma's dead body up there and shit like that?
Yeah.
And it's just them. It's like they've been doing this whole thing. And you've even seen those people throughout the film.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think's really, really freaky about it. Like you see all these like naked people that are part of this cult, and you're like, I've seen you. Like
Yep.
you were in that scene, or you were in the background of this.
Yeah.
And
It's sort of
like the fucking Da Vinci looking guy.
yeah, and it sort of adds to like the terror of the mother, like Tony Collette's character. It's like sort of like one partner believes she's absolutely mental, and there's nowhere she can turn because you find out that like everyone's in on this shit, and it's really just I couldn't imagine. Again, it's psychological. You couldn't imagine being in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. Like the only person that she can find to like confide in turns out to be like probably the leader
Yep.
like of everything bad going on. But like that's why all the stuff's going on in their own home, because it's like they're doing it, they're planting it all. The only thing that didn't make sense to me
Hmm.
is how did they know, or like did they have any input in the fact that the little girl was gonna like choke on the cake or whatever? Like, was that just a big coincidence that they took advantage of, or what?
I think so. I think they've probably been somehow like just orchestrating events like to put the little girl in just different types of danger to release the whatever was inside of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like give her like she's too young to have this type of food because she could choke on it. Having the kid drive her somewhere when the kid's just known to be reckless because he didn't want to go to that thing, and then she gets, you know, clacked by a telephone.
mate. Yeah, she just fucking smacks it. I
I like
didn't expect that.
how abrupt that was as well. It was sort of like, what the fuck? Where's this guy?
Yeah, I did not expect it at all. I was just like, oh, okay. I was expecting them to go home and then like mum be pissed that she was given cake or some shit, like he didn't
Yeah,
look after her. Like that's what I was expecting, not not this, like which was absolute madness, by the way.
yeah.
Like, but it was good. I need to watch Midsummer now.
I think
Um,
the scariest part of Hereditary for me wasn't even any of the like the more blatant things, like beheading herself with the piano wire, even though that was pretty gruesome. It was just a bit where what's the kid's name? I haven't seen it in ages.
what? The little girl or the boy?
The dude, the kid, the dude who's meant to host it at the end.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
It's a Pete, isn't it? Is it Peter or something?
It
Paul?
might be Peter. Yeah, yeah, it's Peter because Steve is the dad. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Peter.
just
It's
when he's
Peter.
walking to the little girl's treehouse, and you see people standing in between the trees. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's.
I was like, oh no.
There's a lot of that like throughout the film.
Yeah,
Like
man.
the people that are part of it are in the background of a lot of bits.
Yeah,
Like they're what do you call it? The bit that scared me as well was like that fucking woman screaming at him,
yeah.
like yelling at him, "Get out, Peter, get out!" I was like, Jesus, calm down, love. Stop it.
You're
Stop it,
scaring
please.
me.
You're scaring me. And the yeah, I mean it was a lot of just good psychological stuff, and I think it really does put you in a position where even if you think you're like, I'm smart, I can figure this out, you kind of do suspect it to be something to do with the mum, like the whole time.
Yeah, no,
Like she's
absolutely.
she's so suspicious. It's like it's
The way it
probably
was
her.
going, I thought it was just going to be a case of like, they'll drive the mother to just kill everyone, and she'll be the
That's what I was thinking
antagonist.
too. Like I thought she was gonna like smother the boy in that whilst he was
Yeah.
asleep, but it's like turns out she's
Oh, the bit
actually
where he's
nice.
sleeping and she's on the roof. I mean, on the ceiling.
Mm.
Sorry. Oh,
Oh,
yikes!
yeah. It goes like 0 to 100 in the last 20 minutes, though.
Yeah, old Steve gets set on fire.
That's when it all just escalates from that point.
Yeah.
And he comes downstairs and like she like floats up and starts banging her head on the door
Oh,
of the like attic. Like a woodpecker. And she's just like stuck onto the roof, like banging her head on it. It's so funny.
Christ.
Oh
Yeah,
man. But
anything
it's
like that. I'm trying to think. We talked
poor
about it.
Steve, by the way.
I don't think.
Steve was like the MVP.
Yeah, like wasn't last episode, but the episode before that. That Something of Night, that alien film.
Oh, Fire in the Sky.
No, no, the one I recommended,
Oh yeah.
Last of
I
Night or
remember that
something.
one.
That's similar. It's not as scary, obviously, because it's more of an alien thing, but it's just like the suspense and like what happens towards the end and stuff like that, and just like that woman working in the switchboard thingy, picking up the weird signals. It's very much. I'm very much in the camp of like things I can't see are far more terrifying than things I can see. I remember that when I saw Hereditary, it was because when I was in Oakland, we went to a friend Tim's friend's house, and they were playing it, and I had to walk back around to Tim's to get something, and I remember just shitting my pants just in the darkness, walking just 2 blocks back to Tim's house to get something. Oh.
Oh.
And on that near that house, I think it was a week after I left, somebody was shot dead, and
Oh
I'm
Jesus.
like, that's just like human evil, the fear of getting shot in real life. I guess I'll chance it. The chance I'm going to be like the host of the fucking Ninth King of Hell, keep it away from me.
I mean, you'd be his mate though, wouldn't you? I'll help you out, bro. I'll help you out. I'll
Hop
find you a good
inside
host.
me. You might be the king of demons. You could rend my flesh inside out and
No,
contort my form to whatever.
but that's the thing though. He was like, there was no choice.
Yeah.
Like he was just the host from that point. He's fucked. That's it for him, innit?
Yeah.
He's screwed now. But like, what are they? I don't get what they're trying to achieve. Do you know what I mean? Because like, he doesn't have powers in that, does he? Or
I
does he?
believe he does. Like the whole thing was like he needs to be in a male host to be brought to this realm, even though he technically was brought to the realm when he was inside the little girl. But like I think it's like some prophecy shit. Um
Yeah, like I want to know what happens afterwards. Like,
well, you'll never
do
know.
they just go back to living normal lives? All right, job done. Job's done. See you later, kid. You have fun with that.
Who
And that's
knows?
it.
But like yeah, any sort of like atmospheric horror. Have you seen The Witch?
I have not.
The one that came out in 2015. That's similar.
Yeah, I am so far behind on films and stuff. I really do need
It's
to
so
start like
good. Like
watching more.
it's weird. Like I say I hate horror films and I try and avoid them, but like the ones I have seen are generally ones that people really want me to watch. So it's generally the only good ones. Um, so I've seen The Witch, seen Midsummer, um, seen all the good ones.
Is
Mids
Midsummer good?
Midsummer's decent. I think the themes in it are a bit at odds with each other because without spoiling too much, like part of the scary part is like it's sort of framed like the experience of being a woman, and then there's some ooky spooky shit on top of that. But I think the film would have been just as scary without the spooky shit if it was just like the whole cult thing and then being a woman and how that is. Because if you look at like traditional like slashes and stuff, it's like yeah, the final girl and all that trope, but it doesn't really dive into what their life experience is like. Whereas Midsummer does, and there's some bits where because it's the same director as Hereditary, and there's some like background stuff but I don't know why, but like there's one bit, and I don't know if I think I'm the only person with this opinion, but it just looked really weird to me. Like legitimately graphics design is my passion tier hidden stuff, and I'm like, but I don't know if the budget was smaller or whatever, but it is a really good film. I enjoyed it. But obviously I saw some flaws in it, but no film's perfect unless it's Captain America 2 Winter Soldier.
I do need to watch it. Like it's the same director as Hereditary, right? So
Yeah.
it's probably going to be at least like all right. So I do want to watch it. It's just yeah, that's the thing. I've got so much to watch, and I end up watching the same fucking Simpsons episodes I've seen 100 times over instead.
Yep.
But I've started watching like more movies and stuff, but I'll probably do some more like horror movie nights, like building up to Halloween and shit, because it's nice, you know. Like I'm very glad that I'm not the kind of person that really like gets affected by watching these films, because I know some people do. Like
Yeah.
some people will get really like affected. I was talking to a friend of mine about Hereditary, and he was saying that like he struggled to sleep for like a week.
I'm never that affected by it. I think for like a few hours afterwards, if it's nighttime, I'm like, oh, oh.
Yeah, like I mean, I understand why people are.
Mhm.
I'm just not. Do you know what I mean? Like I really do. I get it. I totally get it.
Spooky. Speaking of films
But
you might have missed, did you? You probably. I don't know if you've probably seen it. I can't remember if it was you or someone the other day, but have you seen Knives Out?
I have not,
Oh
and that's one
mate,
of the ones that I want to see.
I think it's on Amazon Prime. If you've got Prime,
I do. I do.
it's so good. Tony Collette's really good in that as well.
I need to see that. That was one of the ones that I want to see. It's because I watched last time I was home. Like I say, last time I was home, I mean like end of last year.
Yeah,
I watched what's it called? Bad Times at the El Royale.
yeah. Oh, I fucking love that film.
I watched that with my dad. Now, I like that. I thought that was really good.
The bit with the fucking where Chris Hemsworth's character's got everyone hostage, and Deep Purple comes on the jukebox and just all hell breaks loose. Oh, what a scene! Fucking loved it.
It's good, man. It's good.
But
Like
that's the best thing about that is just subvert your expectation. You're like, yeah, the girl and her sister are going to make it out, and it's like, nope.
yeah, I like the fact that apart from like Chris Hemsworth's character, really, no one was really like the villain, so
Yeah.
to speak. But everybody had their own shit going on that probably
Mhm.
wasn't like too um I don't know, clean. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
The only
everybody
person,
had something.
the only person who was quote unquote clean was John Hamm, and like he's not in it for that long.
Oh god, yeah, John Hamm's so good in everything he's in. And then they just fucking iced him so early.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Why ice him so early, bro? He's cool.
The thing I really liked about Bad Times at the El Royale is just it shines a light on like those weird places in like the arse end of America where there's like just motels in the middle of nowhere and all these drifters come in and they've got different stories and stuff, but it's just like that turned up to 11. Um,
Yeah,
it's quite
absolutely.
interesting.
It's very much like, that sort of place that no one would ever check for anybody.
Yeah.
And it's just like people with like these really dirty pasts just like appearing there and
Mhm.
just just swinging on by for a little bit to lower the heat a bit, like it's good. It's good, man. And what else did I watch recently? I watched Mandy recently as well,
I haven't seen that.
which is I think you'd class Mandy as a horror probably.
Okay.
Mandy's good. I liked it. Like I think it's probably one of Nicolas Cage's like best performances recently.
Okay.
Because I personally think that Nick Cage is a good actor who is put in bad films.
I don't believe I think he's a good actor, but when he cares, but he's in isn't he in so much debt he just picks up anything?
I mean, potentially, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, though. I think there's a lot of movies that are just like they're not very good films, but he just
Yeah.
does them. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's probably why he probably just does them for the money, which is I'm not gonna slight that ever.
Nope.
Like you
He's
fucking do you,
grinding
bro. Like
for
you,
real.
you secure the bag. Like in this capitalist hellhole society, if you're gonna tell me that you're gonna like sell out and make money, I don't give a shit. Do it. We
Yeah,
have to do it. Like, do you know what I mean? We have to do it.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's why like not to go off tangent, but that's why I hate it when people are like, you call yourself a socialist and yet you have money. Like, oh yeah, I take part in society because this is literally what I
And
have to
yet
do.
you have an iPhone. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's the thing. It's like
Forgive me for trying to have one little bit of fancy joy in my otherwise terrible life.
well, that's the thing. Like, our entire society is built around this shit, so we have to take part in it. And if like the little joys in this world are spending money because that's what they've brought it to this
Yeah,
point, then I'm gonna do it. Of course I am. Doesn't mean I don't want it to change.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I made loads more money, tax me more. Like,
absolutely.
But anyway, like off that point, Mandy is very, very good. It's like the director has an amazing name too. He's called like fucking Panos Cosmatos. Yeah,
Jesus.
that's his legit name, Panos Cosmatos.
Let
That's
me
such a
Google
sick
this.
name, dude. I wish my surname was Cosmatos. It sounds like just a cosmic fucking being, doesn't it? Like, but he's done another film that I haven't seen called Beyond the Black Rainbow,
Yeah.
which I think is another kind of like sci-fi horror. Like that's his thing that he does,
Mhm.
which is great for his surname. Um, but Mandy was like, it's like a film about like Nick Cage and his wife, and these weird sort of like space cultists almost.
Okay.
Um, and the whole thing I thought was going to be like, okay, like really intense story between them. It's basically just Nick Cage going on a massive revenge spree, and it's great. Like it's really good. It really steps up at one point. It's just like, okay, this is just Nick Cage just going off. Like, and it's sick. It's really good.
Excellent.
What was that other like cosmic horror that came out recently?
Oh,
There was another one, wasn't there?
I don't know. I don't keep tabs on her, unfortunately.
There was a cosmic horror film about like with Nicolas Cage as well. Yeah, that's the one. Color Out of Space.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. But the colors and the vibes of it look kind of sick. It's very like stereotypical cosmic horror of like purples, a lot of purple and blue,
Yeah. Lots of
and I
Eldritch
love that.
shit.
Yeah, I love that shit. I think that looks great. It's a Lovecraft book. Yeah, no shit. There you go.
Hmm.
That's why. Have you seen Lovecraft County yet? By the way,
I haven't, no.
because I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's not on any of the channels I've got a subscription to or anything like that.
That's true. Lovecraft Country, even. Sorry, not
Yeah.
County. But no, it's supposed to be pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think people were saying it was like what they wish the new Twilight Zone was.
God, Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone's classic, man. That was my favorite thing at Disney Paris. Like my absolute favorite thing at Disney Paris.
Oh, they got a Twilight Zone thing there.
Yeah, they have the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Oh, no.
Which was so Twilight Zone Tower of Terror was like the OG ride, I think. It's been there for ages. And it was also there in the States. But the States being the States, they changed it to it's now Guardians of the Galaxy like drop or some shit.
Mm.
It's all done up like I don't know if you've seen that episode of Twilight Zone,
Yes, I have, yeah.
but it's all done up like that, and it's absolutely amazing. It's so like it's got all these little like tidbits and stuff, like little bits of Twilight Zone-ish memorabilia and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so cool. It's honestly so cool. And they do like a whole it's meant to be like you are in the elevator. And they even do the intro. They have like the guy on the video like screen before you go in saying
Yeah,
like you stepped into the Twilight Zone. It's so sick. It's so good.
great
I
shit.
love it. I'm so sad that they're changing it to be fucking Guardians themed. Like I don't hate Guardians of the Galaxy, but come on.
But like, I don't know why. Like the second Guardians film came out like a billion years ago now.
Yeah, I feel like it's just them trying to find something that they can rebrand into a Marvel thing, because
Yeah.
they're making like a Marvel world at Disney Paris too,
Oh, okay.
and I think the other ones are getting like Marvel worlds and similar stuff too. I'm not sure, but I think they really wanted to like add that in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's kind of sad, but I get it. Like I mean, Twilight Zone is not that popular anymore.
It ain't popping.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, but it's like I don't know. It's such a cool old school ride, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be as interesting with like fucking Bradley Cooper yelling at me or something. Like, I don't think that'd be as fun.
Speaking of celebrities yelling at you, pal,
Go
let's
on.
talk about Cameo.
Oh God, yeah. let's fucking talk about Cameo. So I've been doing some little dabbling around Cameo. I haven't spent any money yet.
Yeah.
Yet. But so yeah, if you guys don't know what Cameo is basically a website that, and I was mistaken. It's not only for Z-listers. There are a lot of big people on here
Oh,
too.
there is, yes. People with like famous voice actors, because obviously their voice is their bread and
Yeah,
butter and stuff like that.
but it's basically a way for anyone who is famous in any way, slightly famous or very, very famous,
Yeah.
to make easy money. Like the
Oh,
most easy money on the planet. You pay people to do like a minute long like video for you.
not even that. Some of them are just read this out for me type things.
Yeah, like it's literally just like paying celebrities to do very shallow like advertisements or messages. Like I could pay Ronnie Coleman €230. I'm looking at it right now. Like to say happy birthday or something like that. But that's the thing is like people do this because it's obviously the novelty of it, you know?
Aye.
But it's insane. Like the amount of money some of these people charge, like the big people, it's absolutely mad. So I just saw one that was, let me see. So Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, right?
Yeah.
Um, is €920.
Jeez.
€920. Actually, um, it's €920, but that's as a donation. That's kind of wild. That's kind of insane, actually. That's probably a
Yeah.
lot of money. It's a donation to the Biden campaign
Okay.
for €920.
Jeez.
And it's got 10 reviews. People have done it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Smart.
people like to donate to whoever they're voting for, but if you get something else out of it as well, again, it's just incentivizing things, just trying to get. Have you ever received a Cameo, pal?
I haven't. Have you?
I have.
Have you? It's like a gift.
Yes.
Who's it from?
I still got the link to it somewhere. I don't know if it was through Cameo, but it's something similar. Although I've just checked, and she is on Cameo. For my birthday, I think it was last year. My friend Ryan, who you've played Among Us with,
Hmm.
he got me a cameo from former wrestling ring announcer Lillian Garcia. And it's basically because the whole thing with me and Ryan is we used to have a tag team in real life on the WWE games.
Hell yeah.
And so it's basically just a cameo of Lillian Garcia announcing me if I was coming to the ring. It's really cool. But yeah, I've just looked at the price. I don't know if our price has gone up since that time, but currently requests from Lillian Garcia are at £62.25.
It's a lot of money in it. It's a
Yes.
lot of money. Like,
But
it's
Ryan's
it's.
never been very smart with his money, so
I think that's the crazy thing is like, it's kind of cool.
yeah.
Like I kind of like it because it is kind of like humanizing for one. Like it's just regular people recording shit. But that also makes it the kind of thing where I'm like, why the fuck am I spending money on this?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a person, like, but they're super famous. So, like if it's someone in character, that's the best bit. That's the best one. But I
Yeah.
do think they're really like they can be super cool. It's just there are some people that charge like ridiculous amounts, and people that have a gimmick are the worst people for this because that's all they fucking do. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, I don't know if I sent it to you this morning. Someone posted on Twitter last night, William Hung. You remember William Hung?
I do not know.
So William Hung was on like American Idol years ago. And he sang Ricky Martin's She Bangs in like a very broken English
Oh wait, no,
accent.
yeah, you sent me
Yeah.
that. I didn't
I
know who the
say it,
guy
didn't
was.
I? She bang, she bang. Like that was his thing. That was what he became really popular on the internet from. Like a viral video of him doing that on American Idol. Um, and last night, someone found that he's on Cameo, and one of his cameos is him saying, hey, this is a message from like your brother or something. You've been so strong since grandma passed away. She bang, she bang. And it's like, it's the weirdest shit. Like he gives this really sentimental message, like, yeah, you've been so strong since your grandma died. And here's a little song for you. Here's Ricky Martin's She Bangs. Like, why? Why? Oh, the same thing goes for the fucking twins as well. You know what are they called now? They called like the Voros twins or whatever.
Yeah,
But like their whole shtick, which is like the thing is their videos, like the stuff that they did on that Da Vinci and stuff, is funny. But
yeah.
not just the one, all of them. Like when it's like, what's the summertime one?
Um,
There's
can't-
like, oh, when did the Cold War end?
oh yeah, yeah.
And they go summertime, summer, and that's fucking hilarious. But all they do on Cameo is Da Vinci. Like, even if I'm guaranteed, even if the person doesn't fucking ask for it, they do it. Like, I've looked at some of their Cameo videos, right? And it's them saying like, "Hey, happy birthday to so and so. Just for you, we're gonna look up who painted the Mona Lisa." Like, fucking stop, stop it. This has nothing to do with what the person asked. Like, please don't. But
Did
on the
you
other
know
hand, I love it because it's trashy. It's so trashy, and I love trash.
you could get a message from the Tiger King's very own Carol Baskin for 250 quid, pal?
Like, it's mental, isn't it? Also, Carol Baskin is a criminal.
Yep.
So, like, why are we allowing this? You know what I mean? But again, like I look at some stuff and I really find the pricing of some stuff really weird. It's probably just because
Yeah.
people actually do pay for it.
Hmm.
But like, for example, a guy from Game Grumps is charging more money for a cameo than Justin Hawkins of The Darkness.
Yep.
And like Justin Hawkins is like legitimately a celebrity.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, so are Game Grumps at this point.
Yeah.
Like, but still, you can get you can ask for a request from Drake's dad, like Dennis Graham,
Okay, sleep at night. Great guy.
for promo requests. Please book at business price. So they do advertisements then.
Yeah.
So they actually will do paid advertisements for you, but you're gonna have to pay more.
Yeah.
Well, what does chat mean? I can request him for 92, or I can chat with him for €2. So I just send him a message like, "Hey, bro, for €2."
Popping. Yeah, it's probably just like people wanting to send a message to whoever they want. I think it's a good sort of service for, because you look down at the categories, they've got like basketball players and all that stuff, but there's an entire section for like drag queens. And knowing like right now in the climate that we're in terms of like the pandemic and not being able to put on shows and stuff,
Oh
like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it's
like this, I
wonderful
respect
source
the
of
hustle.
income.
I don't. The only thing that I find like sketch is big celebrities like just charging like 500 plus and shit. You know,
Yep.
I don't know. It's just a bit weird because it's like you don't need this, do you? But then again, it's just like an autograph, so it's kind of like the same kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hire LA Beast for €39. So some of these people, I don't get like why you'd want them to say anything. Like LA Beast just eats stuff. Like I want to see you eat stuff. I don't want to see you talk.
Yeah.
Like I want
But
to see you eat 20 hot dogs.
if you do want a request from the Voros twins, it's only 42 quid, pal.
Well, you know who costs €4?
Nope.
Shoe Nice. Do you remember Shoe
Oh
Nice?
no.
Shoe Nice is Shoe Nice is the weirdest fucker. Like I guarantee Shoe Nice has done some heinous shit.
Oh no, he has. Like me and my friends, I don't know if I talked about this before, either on an episode or with you, but we used to watch this streamer called Maximus Black. He still streams, I think he's like part of the whole GTA RP community now.
Yeah, I think I've
Um,
heard the name.
Yeah, and he was like early on in his streaming career, he was like going for this, like there was this online contest, and I think the winner got like £10,000 or some shit or something. Can't remember the
Hmm.
specifics. But anyway, in the top five people included him, some other guy, and Shoe Nice, and it was like a three-way battle, and Shoe Nice overtook him. And then, as soon as he overtook him, he started being incredibly racist towards him and got himself disqualified.
Really?
Yeah,
Was he actually?
yeah, absolutely. He was just being racist towards Back to Us Black, and then the contest owners were like, can you go away, please? So he got took out the running.
Jesus. Yeah, I had Shoe Nice down as one of those kind of people. I had him down as like a proper chud. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Oh, apparently he did blackface. in June. Okay, so we won't be hiring Shoe Nice
But
for
at the
€4.
same time, he's ingested so many different things and stuff. You got to question, where does his prejudice start and his mental instability begin? Because he's genuinely not all there. He's a
Oh,
veteran as well.
absolutely. He
He lives
drinks
in a
fucking
hotel.
like 10
Um,
liters of vodka and stuff, and
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I would rather not spend €4 on Shoe Nice ever though.
yeah.
I'd rather him not get any money, but like ever. But you
It's
can
just
you can
a shame that
hire
there's no one like around him to be like, "Hey, dude, just stop," because he's got no one. Like there was that mini documentary someone made on him, and he's literally got no one. So it's a
that's
shame.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you can if you look at. I'm just going through Cameo now. There's so much fucking stuff you can see on here.
yeah.
Oh, there's a gamer section. Get me on there.
Years.
Uh, I'll do it for a fiver. I'll
I will
fucking
pay Ninja to tell me that my life is a victory royale.
I will undercut Shoe Nice by like 20 cents.
I wonder if I could start a Cameo. If people would care
Hey,
about getting a
oh,
message
Chum
from.
Lee is on there from Porn Stars. Speaking of chuds, Chum Lee is like, why the fuck would you want Chum Lee to say anything to you?
Honestly, let me have a look. I wonder if
Chum Lee a
he.
sex pest.
You know who should be on here? Tim. Because
Yeah, yeah. To be
people
fair,
want a message from Crunchyroll, Tim. Like,
Tim is actually like pretty popular, right?
yeah,
Like he actually has like a shout outs to Tim, who is one of one of Gary's good friends that I think is very cool, and I've never actually met him. I, I'm a little bit intimidated by his fame.
oh, you shouldn't be. He's a very. There was one time it was so funny. We were talking about I can't remember. I think we were talking about horror films. Funny enough, in the group chat we have, and like out of nowhere, Tim just butts in the conversation. All he texts is Dave in lowercase. And I was like, what the fuck? My friend Marcel was like, what the fuck are you talking
I
about?
mean, Dave.
But like apparently he was like, I can't remember the background of it. I think he was going through an airport or something trying to text his brother. I don't even know if his brother's called Dave. I don't know his brother's name. But he just put in the group chat just Dave. So it's
Dave.
just a recurring meme now.
But that's like I mean, he seems cool as fuck. That guy seems like super dope.
Yeah, but I guess he's not intimidating me because A, he's one of my best friends, and B, like I knew him when he had like very minimal Tumblr following, and he was posting pictures of himself like working in his dad's factory when it was just abandoned, like driving a forklift across screen while fucking Kid Rock was playing.
Bar with the bar with the king. King. No, I like Cameo for I think the thing I like most about Cameo is for like smaller like people. I say smaller, I mean like streamers and stuff, like
Yeah,
charging like $20 for someone to say happy birthday to like a kid or some shit. Like I think that's cool. I think that kind of stuff is super cool.
no,
Um but it is a wild world when you can like I'm looking through the stuff now. And you've got like some people in the gaming section charging a fuck ton of money. Like, bro, really? Like, come on now.
yeah.
Like, I don't even know who some of these people are, but I mean, maybe someone else does. Pro FIFA player,
Yeah,
€13.
but when you think about it, with the people in the gamer section charging large things, like they'll probably get around whatever they're charging in donations just from random
Oh
people.
yeah, to read it out.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing, right? It's kind of like a big dono to read something, but it's a little bit more personal. But it's I think the best ones on this website are 100% like reality TV people. Absolutely reality TV people.
yeah.
Like people from 90 Day Fiance and stuff like that. Gold. Oh, it's too funny though, man. Like I don't know what I would ask some of these people to say. Like, what would you ask Mick Foley to say to you?
I've already spoken to Mick Foley in real life.
Oh, sorry.
Pretty much,
Okay.
there's pictures of me hanging out with Mick Foley on Facebook. So
But
me and
what
Mick.
would you say to Ronnie Coleman?
What would I say to who?
Ronnie Coleman.
I can't remember who.
Ronnie Coleman,
No.
the bodybuilder. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, lightweight baby.
I don't know
I
what
love
to say. Like,
it.
Nice traps, I guess.
Imagine paying €230 just to say, "Hey, bro, like your traps? They're great. Keep working on it, bro." Oh, hey, thank you, Gary. Yeah, buddy. That's the message. That's what you get. $230, and he's just running comment going, "Hey, thanks for the money. Yeah, buddy." And that just ends.
Before we move on to our final topic, is there anyone you can't see on Cameo that you think should be on Cameo?
I'm just thinking about that as I look through now. Like, I would really like to see more like British daytime TV, either contestants or like hosts on here. Like, what's his name? Dave Benson Phillips. Get him on here.
Absolutely.
I've got Dave Benson Phillips as a Facebook. I've had Dave Benson Phillips on my Facebook friends for the longest time.
Damn.
Like, just I think I had him about 10 years ago. My brother told me he did it because it was funny, and he just accepted us, and he's just there. Just have him as a mate. Just big Dave. But like, imagine that guy from Come Dine with Me, for example. You know the one I mean?
Yeah, the kind of what a silly little life or a pathetic little
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Okay,
Imagine him on Cameo or something. That'd be gold, dude.
oh, fucking great.
Like,
The one
go on.
person don't know his name, but I did search the show he was on to see if he was on it, make sure that my answer was valid. But I'd get the guy who hosts Fort Boyard, and I'd specifically buy one for my dad's birthday. And it's like Jack get the door, just be Johnny get the door.
Jacques, the
I
door.
I was watching. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but there's a website called Cultaholic, and they like cover wrestling and stuff. And they're based in Newcastle, and they have like a podcast. And the guy who makes Botchamania is part of it.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, we saw him at the. Were you there? Did you go with us to watch the wrestling in
oh
Newcastle?
no,
I don't think you did. Did you?
I think I was busy.
No, we saw him there.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
guy from it.
But yeah, they had a podcast, and apparently I can't remember whether it was him or someone else on the podcast. But when they were little, and used to watch Fort Boyard. They thought because the guy's catchphrase "Jack get the door" or like "Jack at the door," they thought like the little person's name was Jack the
It
door.
was. No, his name was Jack though.
Yeah, it was, but like they thought his name was Jack the door.
Oh right. They're just like fucking announcing him being there.
Jack the door.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fort Boyard was absolutely like a fever dream. When I think back to it, just like
just shit like that.
those
Crystal
little
Maze,
lads.
Fort Boyard, Jungle Run. Ooh, beautiful.
Jungle Run. Right? Do you remember the monkeys from Jungle Run?
Yeah,
They scared the fuck out of me. They had weird faces.
yeah.
Like those two monkeys that would like, mate.
Throw shit. Yeah.
I'm linking this to you now because I've just looked it up and they are absolutely.
Are they
They're
on Cameo?
I wish they were on Cameo. They're horrifying. They had really weird faces, and like their whole goal was to disrupt everything, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like their whole thing was like throwing stuff at the contestants and stuff like that. They're horrifying, but
I,
like stuff like that is what should be on Cameo. Like I
yeah.
feel like as much as it's cool to get celebrity stuff for like birthdays, whatever. I feel like this kind of site really comes into its own with like voice actors and just like Z-list celebrities and background characters to stuff. Just like people that have just become viral for like something stupid. Stuff
Yeah.
like that, I'm all about it. Like if I could pay that fucking ocean sprayed skateboard guy to like skateboard and listen to the podcast in the background, I probably would. I, I remember watching a stream, one of the streams that I watch a lot,
Yeah.
Hassan Abi. Like, people in the community paid for Ned Luke from Grand Theft Auto, plays
Yeah.
Michael,
Hmm.
because he just finished Grand Theft Auto. They paid for his birthday, like a message from him, in character as Michael, and that was super cool.
That's cool. Eh?
Like, I feel like voice actors are probably the best content that you could get
No,
from
absolutely. Yeah.
this. Like them and obviously reality stars, because reality stars are just psychos, so they're just going to be weird and probably say some weird catchphrase that they have. But I'm looking at the voice actors section now. There
Yeah.
are some famous voice actors on here.
Yeah, there will be.
You can get Tara Strong
Hmm.
to speak to you. I would very much like to speak to Tara Strong.
Nice.
Not for €92, but I would like to speak to her in person. She's very nice. She's a very nice lady. She's also Timmy Turner, so
Ah,
she
yeah.
could be in that voice the whole time. You can get what's it? You get Jack Skellington on here
Aye.
to read
Yeah.
out for you. Oh mate, you can get Zordon. You can actually get Zordon. It's like $23 and no one seems to care. Dude, look at him. It's just like it's the same, just without the tube. Bro, €23 for a pep talk, hashtag pep talk from Zordon. I'm
I
kind
love
of about
Zordon.
I'm kind of about paying Zordon to like give me some inspiration. I don't know. What would Zordon say to me? Rangers, stop jerking off.
It could be the burnt umber ranger.
Do something productive. No, I told you to stop.
I mean, there's probably no one on there that could be caught out by this, but like, imagine if like there was an actor on there like recently being accused of doing some fishy shit because they all are these days.
I
And
mean,
you just,
there are a lot of people doing some fishy shit that, like, literally was just about to say that are on here.
so I could just pay them to admit it.
Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they can deny it. I'm pretty sure they can say no. But like, what's his name? Vic Mignogna's on here, and he's a piece of shit,
Oh
isn't
yeah,
he?
and but yeah, there's also you can play that Tommy Lauren person. So I was gonna pay her to say
Oh
something like socialism works.
yeah, socialism is the best. Like, I paid you €72. Please just say it,
Anyway,
dude. Billy West is on here as well. That's kind of sick.
speaking of Tommy Lauren,
Go on.
who is a monster? It brings us to our question.
Oh, that's a great segue. That's a great
If
segue.
you could be a classic horror monster, which one would you be, James? And why?
See, this is something that since we discussed it last week, I've been thinking about. Right, I've been really thinking about it because when we're talking classic, we're talking about like the OGs, right? Like Mummy, Frankenstein, like
Yeah,
fucking werewolf, shit like Wolfman, stuff like that, right? I honestly think I'm gonna have to go with probably the most boring answer, but vampire, like Dracula kind of shit, because they have eternal like life and eternal youth, right? So they're always looking good. They're
yeah,
drippy as fuck because a lot of
yeah,
vampires are just like goths. They're just and I'm not talking like OG Dracula, like I mean capes are cool, but you know with all the frilly shit and stuff. I'm talking like fucking Sisters of Mercy looking Dracula, you know, like just leathered out, like cool goth looking vampire. That's what I'm talking. Because they look drippy as fuck. They're just super goth, and they're very like I don't know. Vampire is probably the only one that's kind of like they are a monster, yeah, but they're
yeah.
also very like I don't know. They seem to have a good time. Like they're sexual as fuck as well. They're a very sexual monster, aren't they? And they like, but they have cool powers too. Like can't they fly and shit? Like, they can do a lot of cool
Yeah,
shit.
depends on the vampire and like how seasoned you are and all that stuff.
Yeah,
There's
I mean, like I'm thinking
times.
Vampire the Masquerade style where they can have like fucking cool powers and shit.
Yeah.
You're like super strong, you know, but like you also just can't go outside in the day, which is fine. Like I don't go outside anyway. So
You see, for me, the sun is non-negotiable. I really like being outside in the daytime, so I'd probably be a werewolf.
you think so?
Because there's just something. I I guess it's part of that return to monkey thing, where there's just something satisfying about just becoming feral at night and just pasting the fuck out of people, just slapping people left, right, and center with your giant claws. Um,
Everything comes back to monkey.
yeah, and just
But
like werewolf seems, it's just like being a human, except like every now and then there's a full moon and you just go sicko mode, you know?
this is what I like about like being a vampire. Like it's basically just being a human, isn't it? Just with like
Yeah, be
special
gone for
bit.
a trip of the day. What if you want to go
Yeah,
and watch?
but that's
Uh,
I would rather not be able to go out during the day than be forced to turn into something at night. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, but you can just not look at the moon.
What? So if you stay inside, do you just not become a vampire?
If we're going to,
How
oh
does that
no,
work?
I mean, as a werewolf, I'm just talking like traditional werewolf, where it's full moon and you're like, I don't know if you have to look at the moon or whatever. Um, but yeah, or like
Like,
you can forecast when it's going to be a full moon or when it's going to be overcast and stuff. So I just like lock myself in my basement if I was scared or whatever. But I imagine over time I'd become more sentient in a werewolf form, so I could just have fun running about with like super agility and just like diving
yeah,
about
but
people.
you could do that without being a big hairy fuck. Like,
Yeah,
as
but
a vampire.
it's just the whole transformation would be very, while painful, it'd be satisfying. It'd be like it's sort of that weird satisfaction you get when you play a Dragon Ball Z game and you power up to the next level of Super Saiyan. Like you want to feel like you're evolving. You want to feel like you have that place you can go to when you need to. You know?
I'd rather be like just eternally powerful, like all day, every day. Like, have you not seen all the fucking vampire like nightclubs and shit that they do?
No,
Like,
yeah, I have, but like,
it's silk and velour everywhere. like like raving to industrial goth music with a bunch of goths that don't know that this place is run by vampires.
yeah,
Classic.
I just don't like the limitation of not being able to go out during the day. Because if you think like going out during the day and like all the fun things you could do, like what happens in like say 2022, right?
Hmm.
England get through to the final of the World Cup. This is a scenario. This is a fantasy, by the way. No, never gonna happen. Um, and all the lads are going to a beer garden to watch the match. What could be the most wonderful thing to ever happen to British football in the past 50 years? And you're going to miss it out because you
Just
can't.
wear an umbrella hat.
Oh man, it doesn't work like that. You put one finger out of your umbrella thing, it just gets burnt off, and you're like, oh,
Just
now I've got no
like
finger.
wear robes, like full full head to toe robes.
In the middle of June. Sorry,
Yeah,
July is when the final is.
yeah, or just watch it at home.
But you won't be with the lads
The lads
outside,
can
bro.
come down.
You,
Listen,
you'd
we don't
never be
need the
able.
general public anymore.
You'd never be able to recreate that image that LeBron posted to Instagram where he's coming out the pool in the middle of the sunshine. He's like, can't believe this is my life, hashtag blessed and all that shit. You'd never be able to do that. What's the
Yeah,
point?
of course you could, because you could just do it at night.
No, no one will be the
You just come
sun.
out of the pool at night. You just have to flip the day on its head.
That's not fun to me.
I think it'd be very fun. I think the only thing, like the only other OG monster that would be as fun as that kind of shit would probably be like the fucking lagoon creature.
Oh, the good creature would be absolutely banter.
Because he just chills out in the water all day.
And
like he has no fucking like there's no benefits to being him really. He looks like shit. He probably smells like shit.
but I
He,
imagine it's so satisfying for him with like some idiot kids turn up to swim in the lagoon. And all you have to do is just walk towards the shore and they shit themselves and run. You just go back down and say,
yeah, but that's what does that mean? He has no mates. He has no mates. He just stays under the water and smells like shit. And it's like, oh, I'm out of the water. Like, great, there you are. See you
that's
later,
not
bro.
necessarily true. In like in traditional posters and stuff, he's often seen kidnapping people. Maybe he can hope the Stockholm syndrome sets in.
I don't want to kidnap people. like, he's got webbed fucking feet too. Like, I don't know. I couldn't be him. Or Frankenstein for that matter. Frankenstein is very much like just I don't know. He's strong as shit, but
Yeah, I've
he don't
thought
have a
of
brain.
Frankenstein, so I'll circle back to that. But I think the swamp creature would be a lot of fun with like webbed feet and webbed toes, just to see how fast he could swim and shit. Like maybe he's like super agile underwater, and I feel like that would be a nice feeling. Although the novelty would wear off after about
Yeah,
two
that's what I was about to say. I feel the novelty would super wear off. Like, I'm firmly team vampire because like if I could just fly about at night, I'd be fucking sound. I just
days.
fly about and be like, ooh, and that'd never get boring. I'd go anywhere.
Yeah. See, flying has never appealed to me. Like I prefer to be a werewolf and just leap like large distances. You know, like I would like the feeling of like it's like you are your own roller coaster. Great shit. But in the vein of Frankenstein, in terms of like, I don't think it would be a fun existence in terms of like socially, and you have to run away from pitchforks quite a lot. But like, it's just the thought of just having an interchangeable body would be hilarious.
I mean, Yeah, kind of, kind of.
I just
I
find the
mean,
first
again though, the
film
whole thing.
punch his face off and then just steal both of his arms. I just keep making myself even more massive.
No matter what you are, though, you kind of just like you're. No one's gonna be cool with you again.
Yeah.
But unless you're a vampire, because no one fucking knows. You go to the bar at night, who fucking knows? Unless you like start doing weird shit, which I absolutely would if I was like a fucking powerful vampire. Of course, I'd do weird shit.
Yeah, but with Frankenstein, you can do whatever you want to your body in terms of enhancements. You can have a fucking propeller coming out your head. You can do all kinds of shit, like have steal, like murder all the people that are trying to get you with pitchforks, and just turn one of your arms into a giant pitchfork. You just like be some like
I
weird eldritch Inspector Gadget. It would be fucking
I
hilarious.
would have a propeller coming out of my ass so that every time I fart, I just move a bit. Like I just like I just get pushed along a bit every time I like let one rip. The propeller just goes off, and I just go whoop, just a little bit forward.
Plus, it's like,
That's what I.
if you were a vampire, you'd have to deal with vampire hunters, and would that not be just a pain in the ass all the time?
That'd be kind of fun though. Everyone needs a rival, right?
Not really. I just don't want to be hassled.
Plus, like, why would they hunt me? There's no vampire hunters. Why would they
These
hunt
other
me?
vampires.
If I'm not doing anything evil, would they come for me? Doubt it.
I mean, yeah, because they'd see you as an evil presence.
Yeah, but they wouldn't see me. How would they know where I am?
I don't know, because they're vampire hunters. It's their job to know where you are.
Yeah, but they wouldn't know. Like, unless you were like government sanctioned vampire hunters that could fucking
Time of your
listen to my
life.
text of me going, "Oh, I'm gonna suck your blood."
Eventually, you're gonna have to feed on someone, and the moment you feed on someone, you're on their radar. I
Yeah,
imagine.
I'm just gonna feed on. I don't know. I don't know. Sexy ladies.
Basically, well, me and the lads, my fellow werewolf lads, because I probably accidentally bitten each one of them. um, we're all watching the match in the beer garden. Don't know why it's in the beer garden. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and then at night you're getting shot with silver bullets.
Well, no, because like I can't be killed.
Yeah, okay, here we go. And this is like when you're 12 and you're playing fucking superheroes or some shit at school. It's like, okay, so I use my power, like, yeah, but that doesn't affect me. I'm immune. Like, but you should. I shot you with a gun. Doesn't matter. I'm not dead.
Yeah, but
That
I
was the
feel like
worst.
silver bullets are they do hurt werewolves more, but it's not like a one silver bullet and you're done. So I'd have some sort of chance. Whereas if you get staked through the heart as a vampire, you just turn to dust, and it's like. And while we're outside watching the match, you're just getting your shit knocked in by
Like,
blade. And you
why,
just turn up where you're a
why is
thief.
this whole argument just like gone down to I'm outside watching the
Because
match?
I can be outside in the sun and I want to rub it in.
Like, I don't give a shit about the match. Like, I don't give a fuck. I would much prefer to just fucking fly around and go to sexy, seedy goth raves, right? Like, that would be your life as a vampire. It'd be fantastic.
That would
It'd
get.
be great. Or if I could, like, at this current point in time with the way the world is going and shit, if I could just be like one of those big tentacle brain monsters that like lives in the ground.
Oh,
Like a meteor hits and it's just there in that spot. I think I'd go for that because there's no way anyone's going to kill me and I'll just consume constantly. I'll just keep consuming. Anyone who stumbles across me gets consumed and I just become like this big thing. There you go. That's
fair.
it.
Well, we are running out of time, but I wanted just quickly to flip something on its head. Is
Go
there
on.
any classic monster you absolutely wouldn't even entertain the idea of being?
I mean, definitely fucking the mummy.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is the point in that?
I mean, they've got like in some depictions they've got like spooky yuki magic.
Yeah, but like I'm talking like the classic
Yeah.
like the mummy. Like not like the film The Mummy, but like classic universal horror kind of like mummy.
Well, even
Like
then they can curse people. They open the
but
tomb and just
I,
instant curse.
I don't know, like I'm trying to think more like I would rather be monsters that do have sinister sides to them, but like their literal entire being is not just to be sinister.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is exactly what a mummy is. Like, what the fuck can you do? No one's ever gonna be around you. You look like shit too. You're just covered in
Smell like
bandages.
shite.
You stink. And the only thing you can do is like what curse people and go "Urgh," and
Yeah.
just walk around very slowly. Fuck that. You can't even light a candle because you'll light yourself on fire. You'd be fucked. That's it. I'm done. There goes my bandages. Like, it's over.
Yeah, you just imagine that they get out of the tomb, and the only thing that's really lighting tombs traditionally are like sconces and like wall flames. You just trip on a rock and just
That's it.
raise
You
it
fucked up.
yourself.
Oh. But
You know,
also,
your vocal cords have just disintegrated over time, so you can't even call for help.
yeah,
Your
like
servants are outside the tomb chanting to somebody, and you just burn alive before you get.
covered in piss and shit as well. It's like, nah. But like, as well, a lot of the other monsters are kind of like living beings that have been like given a gift, or like sort of absorbed something, right, or become some sort of monster.
Or being
Whereas
reanimated.
the mummy is just straight up a monster through and through. It's just like, right, so you were dead, and now you might as well be dead because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of alive when you should be dead. So people will be like, "Oh no, he should be dead, him," and that's it. Like, cool.
Yeah, mummies to me have always just been zombies covered in fabric.
They pretty much are, aren't they? Like, I'm just gonna shamble about. Like, oh, fantastic. That's gonna be fun.
Let me
Let
give
me
you
just
my answer, though.
go on. Give me your answer.
I briefly touched on it in the Aliens episode, and it's technically it's not a classic like Universal monster, but
Yeah.
I would hate to be one of the aliens from All the Worlds because I didn't know this, but there's like loads of background lore and stuff to it because my brother's an absolute super fan of War of the Worlds. It's my favorite book, and I don't even go into it that deep. But like the actual aliens themselves look like little Yorkshire puddings with beaks, and the reason why is because they're just a giant ear with a
Oh, fuck
brain
that. That would
inside,
suck.
and that's why they have the tripods because they can't move for shit, and like they get nuked by disease. Like if they want to flop out the tripod, they're absolutely useless. And birds, for some reason, regardless of whether they're dead or not, love to eat them.
Sounds very much like Ben Shapiro.
Liberals help me! I'm trapped inside this tripod.
Trapped inside this bean. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see that. That's a good that's a good answer to that. It's a good
Show me a
answer to that.
fat little eardrum with a beak. Disgusting.
Yeah, that's not like that wouldn't be fun. That really wouldn't be fun. Oh God. Right. Anyway, before we both go off to watch Hubie Halloween, I can't even bring myself to watch it. I can't bring myself to watch it. I bet it sucks bad.
It probably does, yeah.
The Rotten Tomatoes is like fucking 15% or some shit.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Like it's really bad. Like and he said he'd do it though. So
Yeah,
you don't know. Hubie Halloween is Adam Sandler's
yeah, yeah.
newest. It's a straight to Netflix Halloween film, right? He said if he gets snubbed for Uncut Gems, he's going back to making shit,
Well, yeah.
and he immediately did it. Like Uncut Gems is fucking great. It's a really good film,
Really good.
really good. Get snubbed immediately. Fuck it, you've done it.
Oh, speaking
You've
of
done
getting
it.
snubbed, like Toni Collette absolutely should have won an Oscar for Hereditary, and she did not. And I was livid. I know that's an extremely ice cold take these days, but
I mean, we'll have to have like a future podcast chat just about movies in general. I
yeah,
think like more because I think we both have a lot of opinions on movies and stuff. But to like touching on that, absolutely, a lot of good films get snubbed just because they are not big budget.
yeah,
They're not like XYZ director or actor,
yep.
or in this case, like with the fucking Hereditary, they're horror. Horror movies get snubbed all
So
the time.
yeah,
Horror movies just get 100%. I feel like if a movie is a horror movie, it just doesn't get considered for like a lot of categories.
yeah. It's
It's
only
just
really thrillers that toe the line, if I remember
yeah,
correctly, like Parasite, which isn't
yeah,
really a horror,
yeah.
but it
I
could
said,
be.
like it's.
For
I
rich
mean,
people, it's a horror.
yeah. To be honest, you could make the argument that it's a horror film, because it's. I mean, there's a lot of murder and there's a lot of scary shit. That little dude in the basement scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
He's fucking scary. Like he's real scary. But yeah, they get. I mean, Uncut Gems getting snubbed. I know it's not a horror film, but that's just a disgrace.
Yeah.
That's an absolute disgrace. And you know what else is gonna be a disgrace? I'm calling it now.
What?
Anthony Starr is not going to win any awards for his Homelander performance.
Yeah, to
And
be
that's going to
fair,
be
for
ridiculous.
this series, I don't think he was as strong as he was in the first series.
I honestly think though that is one of the best like villain performances
Extremely good at what he does. Yeah,
in a lot of stuff. Like his Homelander is so good, it's so charismatic, and you fucking hate him at the same time.
yeah. No, it's exactly how it's meant to be.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's faithful to the source material. The thing that he does better than the actual source material is like he's less aggressive and he's more like sort of seething when he's like rebuked, which I think
Yeah, like
is better in a live action thing.
I think it makes him scary.
Yeah.
Like it actually makes him scary because he's like, you know, he could just blow his top anytime
Mm.
and just absolutely decimate everyone. Like
Yep.
he's that strong. He can just rip through him. But he toes that line. He still stays on the line, doesn't he? Where he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm fucking fuming. But he's like, mm, gives him a horrible smile.
Yeah.
Like you know, I could absolutely demolish this entire place, but I'm not gonna do it. You're not getting to me. Oh, bloody good stuff. Bloody good stuff. Anyway, we're getting off tangent here.
Yeah, we should wrap this up.
We should wrap this up before I go cover myself in pumpkin pieces and
Nice.
wank off. I don't know.
Jesus.
Go on, you wrap up. You wrap up.
All right, this has been yet another episode of Desperate for Content. Please don't cover yourself in pumpkin pieces and pull your pud. I mean, actually, yeah, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum if that gets you off. So I've been Gary. You can catch me over at cbr.com writing articles about comics. I've actually brought my hyperlink today, so if you can't find me through my articles, you can go to cbr.com/author/gwalk, which is a shortened version of my initials and my surname. I recently did an article about, let me refresh my memory because I do like 5 a day, Superior Foes of Spider-Man, which was an excellent little run, which followed a bunch of jobbers trying to become the next Sinister Six and just getting foiled at every turn and falling to infighting. It's a nice, fun little run. But yeah, and you can also catch me on Twitter at StatureUB. Might be streaming a bit going forward at Annihilation Nova on Twitch, but who knows? Or might not. Who knows? I managed to get a camera working through my phone. And that's all from me. And don't forget to follow the podcast on Twitter at D4C And yeah, James?
What did you say your thing was? Like comic book /Gwark? Say Gwark. Don't say G
Oh,
Walk. Say
G.
Gwark.
I only
Gwark.
G walk.
What the fuck? I only do walk. Oh, I only G walk. Sorry, I completely misinterpreted that. Yeah, you do. To be fair. Anyway, I've been James. As always, you know, you can find me at twitter.com/JimothyTV. You can also find me on my Twitch channel. I've been streaming a lot more regularly lately. Twitch.tv/JimothyZ. I'll be playing a lot more horror games as we get towards the spooky pinnacle of the year. We have actually Amnesia. The third Amnesia game comes out this week. I didn't know. Somebody told me yesterday. It's out this week, so we're going to be playing that next week. Probably do some more Phasmophobia as well. Try and get Gary along for the ride.
Hell yeah.
Coming along in the next couple of weeks. Other than that, yeah, follow the podcast D4C Pod on Twitter. Yeah, any closing statements? Any closing words for everybody?
Yeah. So believe in yourself. You can do it unless whatever you're doing is evil, and don't believe in yourself and just don't do it.
Yeah, and don't, what would you say, yuck your yums?
Don't yuck anyone's yum.
Yeah, don't yuck anyone's yum. That's not very nice. Keep it spooky, keep it trill. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Peace and love. Peace and love.